What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to give a special shout out to my neighbors and my friends where I live. I've been going through a bit of a rough patch these past couple days, and everybody has been really cool and supportive of myself, my family. I mean, everybody has been really, really awesome, but I definitely want to give a special shout out to my friends and my neighbors where I live. This video may be a little low energy, so forgive me for that. But anyway, the show must go on, so I wanted to do something that was simple and easy and something that I really enjoy. I've always been a big fan of Star Trek since I'm a little kid, and I thought this was one of the easiest videos to do, especially since I dug this up out of sheer happenstance. This was actually inside my ottoman. You know, my ottoman, unfortunately, has become a storage bin of stuff that I really, just taken. Everybody has a drawer like that, a desk drawer where they take things and they just throw it in there and they forget they even put it in there. That's what happened with this, unfortunately. And I was looking through my ottoman and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot I got the Hot Wheels USS Reliant here. So I'm like, you know what? I need something to take my mind off of things and give myself a little bit of a break. And this little Miranda class ship has really, really done that. So I'll go over this thing. This is the Hot Wheels Miranda class USS Reliant from Star Trek II. This Miranda class starship was used throughout Star Trek ever since Star Trek II. It was rebranded as the USS Saratoga. There are different versions of this ship. As a matter of fact, you have the Soyuz class. I believe that's the ship that was seen in Star Trek TNG. With that, I forgot what the name of the episode was. You guys can comment in the comment section below when they were in a causality loop. And Data had to remember the number 3 in his subconscious because I guess that was the number of the Pips on Riker's turtleneck. And Kelsey Grammer was in that episode, which was kind of cool. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember what the name of that episode, is. But anyway, yeah. So this is the USS Reliant from Hot Wheels, a fairly accurate starship for what it is. And we're going to take a close look. Just as a note, make sure you put a little grease or some sort of, you could put like Vaseline on there. I choose silicone because silicone won't eat away at the plastic because I already broke one of these on one of my other ships that I have on display. I had to hunt out for another one on eBay. But anyway, let's take a look at this Reliant. I mean, it's not bad for what it is. For a ship of its scale, it's pretty detailed. I mean, it doesn't have the Aztecing or anything on there, but you do see the phaser pods right there. You got the RCS thrusters. You got the super phasers. You have the port and aft torpedo bays right here. You got the impulse crystal on the back. You got your docking port, or not your docking ports, your shuttle bays, your impulse thruster, your warp nacelles. There should be pennants on the inside here, but you could look past that with a little model like this. They actually got the chiller grills correct, but when you turn the ship around this way, they filled in the ram scoops, but they didn't fill in the tops of these, which is fine. Even Eagle Moss doesn't do that on their ships sometimes, especially on the smaller ones. The XL Enterprise A, which I do have off camera to compare sizes with, they actually filled that in, but they didn't do that on the Corgi for some reason. It's weird. We'll get into all that stuff as the video progresses, but it's really not a bad ship for what it is. You got the warp nacelles, you got the Federation pennant right there. You have the NCC 1864 right there, USS Reliant, Starship, US Federation of Planets or whatever. And you got the docking port right there behind the bridge dome. Not a bad little ship. I kind of wish these little details were filled in like, I wish the torpedo bays are filled in black or gray or whatever color they are by Canon. But for what it is, it's not a bad ship, especially if you don't want to take up a lot of space. I mean, the Eagle Moss ships obviously came way after these did, so they're way more detailed than this. But if you're looking for something on the cheap and you're able to find these on eBay or what have you, I would highly, highly recommend this. And I was just digging through my ottoman at random, and all of a sudden it spit this thing out. So, I know everybody has that desk that everybody throws junk into. My ottoman happens to be that object where I throw stuff into that I'm really not using or that's not important, and it spit this out. So let's compare the USS Reliant to the Corgi Constitution Refit Enterprise. So I do have the display stand. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied. I do have the display stand off camera. But if you look at the two of them, I mean, size-wise, if you want to compare sizes, all you have to do is just look at the nacelles. So the Reliant is slightly smaller than the Enterprise Refit by Corgi. And this thing is just awesome. I mean, it's so detailed. I wish they would have filled in the torpedo bay doors in red, like in the movies, but oh well. And I'm not going to mess with it because my hands are too shaky and that's too small, and I'm sure I'll mess that up, knowing my luck. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But anyway, there is the Enterprise on its display. And obviously this thing's not going to cooperate, so let me move this back just a little bit here, folks, to get us back in focus. There we go. But anyway, but if you want to do forced perspective on your shelf, that works for you. So there's the Corgi Enterprise next to it for size comparison. Then we have the XL Enterprise A, and this thing is a behemoth next to the Reliant, as you can tell. But again, if you want to do forced perspective on a display shelf, you can do that. You know, you can do whatever your heart desires. And obviously, if you want to look at how these scale up against each other, if I put the warp nacelle of the Reliant against the Enterprise A here, you can see the size difference. I mean, the Reliant here is as big as the saucer section of the Eagle Moss Enterprise A. So let's get that out of the way, bring this back into camera view here. And then one of my all-time favorite ships from Star Trek. I just love this thing. And that is the Katinga-class XL Klingon battle cruiser from the motion picture. And this thing has made multiple appearances throughout the movies, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, what have you. You know, Star Trek fans got angry at the Star Trek Discovery Klingon battle cruiser, so they forced a newer version of this thing, or an updated version of the Katinga-class battleship. But nothing beats the classic version. I mean, this thing is just epic. But again, you can see the size differences. This is the XL version. Somewhere in my boxes, I have the standard version. I just didn't feel like digging through my boxes. But the only reason I don't dig is because I got the XL up on display there. You know, so it doesn't really pay to have the little one on there, unless I want to do forced perspective displaying. Just keep in mind that this is die cast. Mine has a little paint chipping, but this is a few years old, so that's to be expected. But if it's going to be up on a shelf, I really wouldn't worry about this thing, you know, especially with the kids or whatnot. It's a pretty sturdy ship. Everything with the exception of the torpedo launcher, the pylons here, and the warp nacelles, it's die-cast metal, whereas this is molded plastic. So you should be pretty good with this around the kids and what have you. Not a bad little ship if you don't want to get the Eagle Moss one. So I believe they have a battle-damaged version of this. I'm not sure. I believe they also have the USS Saratoga from the Hot Wheels collection. So if you're able to find those, you might want to grab them as well. But again, for a ship that was, at that time, much cheaper or much nicer, you know, than any other ship that was out at that time at this scale, I mean, you can't beat this thing. You know, and then, of course, Eagle Moss came out with their ships and could really blow this one out of the water. Somewhere in my collection, I have the Reliant, and it's completely different than this. I mean, the color scheme is different. It's got details. The windows are all painted in. I wish I would have found it for this video, but again, that's just me being, you know, lazy. You know, I just don't feel like digging through boxes and whipping up dust out of my closet. But it is what it is. Beautiful ship. If you're able to find them, I recommend you get one. They're really, really nice if you don't like the Eagle Moss stuff. You know, they really look good up on a shelf. But just be warned, again, I had to find another one of these online because the peg broke. You might want to throw a little silicone on there just to make sure that you can back this off nice and easy, that it doesn't snap. But again, after that, put it on its display stand. There you go, USS Reliant. You can play Khan! Anyway, that's all, folks. Thank you for watching this video. I have a really good time making these videos for you, and it's a really good distraction for me. So anyway, there you have it, folks. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description box below of every short video and live stream I upload here on YouTube. And don't forget to support the channel by liking my videos, commenting in the comments section, and of course, subscribing. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. I will see you all very soon.